The events leading up to the French Revolution and the execution of King Louis XVI, 1789 to 1799, by Bonnie Dodd.
Imagine, you're bare neck exposed, waiting for the force of the guillotine to behead you in front of thousands of people who are cheering for your death. This is the punishment the revolutionaries saw fit for King Louis XVI. Many events and circumstances led to the French Revolution and the execution of King Louis XVI. The monarchy neglecting France's people, the overtaxation of the lower class, and many other factors together led to the revolution. The French Revolution was brought on by the Age of Enlightenment, which is a movement that encourages people to not trust authority and to think for themselves. Science and reason encourage self-thinkers to join together and discuss equality among society. Louis XVI of France took his reign as king on May 10, 1774. He was at the young age of 20 and was naive and very indecisive. He was the last king before the French Revolution, and his economic and political mismanagement of France played a major role in the events leading up to the rebellion. Enlightenment was also taking place in America, where they were fighting for independence from Great Britain. King Louis wanted revenge for his grandfather's defeats, and he invested a large amount of money into the battle. This bankrupts France because they do not have the means of paying back the debt they owe from the 7 Years' War. King Louis attempts to show leadership by participating in financial reforms. His misguided influence led to heavy taxation on the poor, while the nobility pay very little. After a season of bad harvest, deregulation raised the price of flour and bread. While the royals feast on large meals and live in extravagance, the people of France suffer from food shortages and starvation. A Jacobin by the name Maximilien Robespierre rides to the courts complaining of the bad condition the third class endures. He later leads the revolution. As people of France starve and are deprived of basic necessities, riots break out across France over food. People are killed over bread, and homes are ransacked in hopes of finding nourishment. The government breaks the population into 3 estates. The first estate, clergy, and the second estate, nobility, make up 3% of the population. The third estate, the rest of the population, make up 97% and receive the same amount of representation as the 2 higher estates. This angered Robespierre because he felt this unequal representation went against Enlightenment ideas, and he demanded the 2 higher estates also pay taxes. The deputies of the third estate come together and pledge to be the new voice of France, and this is the start of the National Assembly. In fear of a revolt of the third class, King Louis rounds up 30,000 troops to surround Paris. The citizens fight back, and during the riots, Paris hears of the finance minister, that represented the third estate, being fired. This outraged people, and they plan to revolt. On July 14, 1789, they stormed Bastille, which was a prison with gunpowder and weapons inside. The governor, Marquis Bernard de Lanay, attempts to lock down the prison and gets murdered in the process. The people of France celebrated and created the Declaration of Rights of Men that says all men are truly created equal. They did not include the king in this as a way to seize power for themselves. The king once again rallies troops with plan to send them to Paris. The outraged people gather in masses outside the Palace of Versailles. King Louis's hesitance to act angered people, and they broke into the palace and forced the king and queen to move to Paris. They become prisoners of Paris, and the power remains in the people's hands. In 1791, the king and queen attempt to escape, but are caught and returned to Paris. Through a battle, King Louis's title as king is removed, and the French Republic is in order. Robespierre comes to the conclusion that the murder of the former king will be the only way for the revolution to truly live on. He is sentenced to death by the guillotine. The execution of the former king is a victory for the revolutionaries. According to a writer from Nation States, rising social and economic inequality, new political ideas emerging from Enlightenment, national debt, and political mismanagement on part of King Louis XVI have all been cited for laying the groundwork for the Revolution. Thank you.